Good morning, students. Or by now it is good afternoon. And today you're having a lesson without me, but I am here with you in spirit. So basically what you need to do is you need to open your book to page 79. So on page 79, before you read B, you should have already done the vocabulary and you should have learned the vocabulary words. So I suggest if you have not learned the vocabulary words by now, what you should do is you should go back and review the vocabulary words. And until you do so, stop this tape, go over the vocabulary words, then continue. So now that you've gone over the vocabulary words, we're now going to go over your assignment for today. So today, your assignment deals with what is known as the Heinz dilemma. And what we're going to do is on page 79, as I said. And before you read it, what I want you to do is the pre-reading exercise. Pre-reading means something that you do before reading. So before you read the passage means the story. Think about a moral dilemma that you face. Moral dilemma means something that you weren't sure was right or wrong, and there was something that you did not know what was right, okay? What was right, what was wrong. What were the choices that you faced? Meaning, what are the things that you could have done? What did you decide to do in the end? After you evaluated, harachta, what was right and what was wrong, what did you decide to do in the end, and why did you do it? And when you answer why you did what you did, I want you to relate, l'ityaches, to the values, to the arachim that you had that made you behave in the way that you behaved. Okay, so do this, stop the tape now, answer question 1, and now, and then you'll answer question 2. So now that you've answered question 1, you're going to listen to the YouTube, and as you read, answer the following questions. Who was Lawrence Kohlberg? Who is this person? Why did Kohlberg do his research? He did a certain machkar. Why did he do it? What were the values of the pharmacist? In the story, there's a pharmacist and a husband of a sick lady. And what were the values, the arachim of the pharmacist? Do you agree or disagree with his values, with his arachim? Was he right or was he wrong in his arachim, in his values? And why do you think he was right? Or why was he wrong with his values? What were the values of the husband? What were the arachim of the husband? Do you agree or do you disagree with his values? And why? And both of these questions here, you need to answer why you agree or you disagree. And what you really need to do in order to answer these 2 questions is to think about your own values. So what I am going to do now is I'm going to read the section on page 79, listen along, and you can stop it as you need in order to answer the questions. The Heinz Dilemma, Part 1. Lawrence Kohlberg, an American psychologist, wanted to find out how people deal with moral dilemmas. A moral dilemma is a dilemma musarit, one that is based on values shemevusas arachim. He interviewed children and teenagers from America and around the world. During the interview, they were asked to consider means lishkol, different moral dilemmas and answer questions about them. Here is one example. So basically what we're about to read now is an example of one of the moral dilemmas that Lawrence Kohlberg gave to children and teenagers. Moral dilemma, dilemma musarit. A woman was dying from an unusual disease. But fortunately, the Behamazal, there was a new drug that could save her. A pharmacist is a rokeach, and that you had in your vocabulary words, in the same town had recently discovered it. The drug cost only $200 to produce the liyetzer. But the pharmacist had decided to charge $2,000 for it. That means it cost him $200, but for the clients, the people who needed it, he was taking $2,000. That means $1,800, $1,800 more than it cost him. The sick woman's husband, Heinz, didn't have $2,000, so he turned to his family and friends. In the end, he only managed to borrow about $1,000. So Heinz did not have the money for the medicine, so he went to his family and friends, and he's still short $1,000. Heinz told the pharmacist that his wife was dying and asked him to sell the drug for less money or let him pay later. So Heinz said, listen, give me it for less money or let me pay later on as well. Don't make me pay all the money now. But the pharmacist said, no, I discovered the drug and I'm going to make money from it. Heinz was desperate, noash, to save his wife. So later that night, he broke into the man's store and stole the drug. Drug does not mean samim, as in something like cocaine or heroin. Drug here means medicine, trufa. And this was the dilemma that Kohlberg gave the students, the children. And then he asked the children questions. The question that the children were asked, 1, does Heinz have a duty being a chovah, to steal the drug for his wife? 2, should Heinz steal the drug if the sick person is not his wife, but a stranger? Let's say the person who needed the medicine was not his wife, but a person that Heinz didn't even know. Should he have even stolen the medicine then? 3, must a person do everything? Everything means everything they can to save another person's life. What things can we not do in order to save a life? 4, it is against the law for Heinz to steal. Okay, we all agree, we all understand Heinz, but the question, we know that it's against the law. It's a neged hachok for Heinz to steal the medicine. Does that make it morally wrong? Mipchinat etit. Just because the law says it's wrong, doesn't make it mipchinat etit morally wrong for Heinz to steal. 5, in general, should people try to do everything they can to obey the law? Is this also true in Heinz's case? Basically, should people try to obey the law? Lishmor lachok, and is obeying the law, ha'im shmirat lachok, is it takef? Okay, in this case, is it also true in Heinz's case? 6, think about the dilemma again. Should Heinz have stolen the drug? Why or why not? Okay? So basically, the questions you had to answer as you read this: who was Lawrence Cole? Why did Cole do his research? What were the values of the pharmacist? Do you agree or disagree with his values? Here, I want you to say, what are his arachim? I explained that before. What were the values of the husband? Do you agree or disagree with his values? What were his arachim, his values? Do you agree with his values or you disagree? And in both cases, I want you to tell me why you agree or why you disagree. Then what I want you to do is answer the questions from your point of view. Regarding the 6 questions that Colbert asked the children. I mean, basically, Colbert asked the children 6 questions. Now you get to answer them, not what you think the children said, but what do you think? And these questions are located at the bottom of page 79, the invitation. The next question I want you to answer, what would you have done had you been the husband? Why? Basically, if you were Heinz, would you have stolen it? Would you not have stolen it? Maybe there's another option here. So it's very legitimate. It's legitimate to think about other options as well. Number 5 is something you're going to have to use the internet for. Go onto the internet and see if you can answer the following question. According to Jewish law, halakha Yehudit, was the husband justified, mutzak, in stealing the medication? Explain your answer, okay? So basically, if you don't find anything online, you can ask Harav Dor, you can ask Harav Eliyav, you can ask your Ramim. But see, I want you to find a source, a makor in Jewish halakha that gives you an answer to this question. So what you need to do is do this. You keep the page. Okay? What I want you to do at the end, you're going to keep it. I want you to send me a picture today at the end of class. בסוף שעת השיעור היום, אתם שולחים לי תמונה בפרטי, כל אחד מה הוא עשה, and you're going to turn this in at the next lesson. So I wish you a good day, and I will see you when we get to our next class. Bye.